Yeah. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us. There you are.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Beth. So it's time for Perfect Agent. And we started a new series last week
Yes,
where Jamie was going to be our guest speaker regarding the new app first.
The good thing about Jamie,
Yeah,
he's always there when you need him. He's punctual. He never not shows up.
right.
Except what happened today?
Yeah, he had a closing.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
that is an allowed excuse.
Yes, it
That is always comes first.
But, and he gave me some information to share with all of you. I think he
Yep.
did a great job last week explaining what the first app is all about.
Mhm.
And then he did text me this morning some stats, just so we can see in the 1 week what kind of progress he made. And I think he mentioned he needed to add contacts, like he's just getting started on
Because
this
he's gonna
journey.
evaluate it over
Yeah.
many months.
Yes,
Yes.
so we'll just week by week see how this app is producing for him. So what he told me this morning, besides good morning, was that his stats are that he imported 294 contacts. He has 75 possible opportunities out of those
Wow.
294 contacts. And then it's given him 21 tasks to do for the week, which a task is just clicking on that person, reaching out, in some way, shape or form. So in just 1 week's time, that's what? That's only 3 calls or contacts a day. I mean, that's not,
So the app finds the people to talk to of your sphere, of your group, and then just doesn't. Okay, it takes it to the next step. It tells you how
Tells
then
you.
to proceed. Okay, perfect.
yes, like it'll tell you, okay, out of these 75 possible.
So you don't have to figure it out
opportunities,
yourself. You just kind
No.
of follow the. Okay.
So these 21 are people that you really should be reaching out to this week because they're
Nice.
we're higher. So we'll see then next week how he does with that. But what I found was interesting. I downloaded the app just to get an idea of what it's like, and it will tell you about missed opportunities as well and what your gross commission could have been. So it'll actually tell you that this week you missed an opportunity. So someone in your
Somebody in your
Wow.
bought a house.
or sold their house, because it's mostly for sellers, but sold their house and you missed it, and this is how much money you would have made. So,
That's cool
but it'll,
and painful.
I think it'll get you on
good.
task, wouldn't it?
Okay, so
If I
this-
saw that and saw I just lost $5,000, I'd be like, okay, that's not gonna happen again. So, yeah, so that's,
Okay,
yeah, so we'll
okay,
see
this is
how
gonna
this
be good.
goes.
Yep.
I think it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Yep.
All right, so today, for Perfect Agent,
Yes.
we're gonna talk about time management. So I think I'll share the screen. We'll just start with the video
Let's do it.
and then whatever we want to add after that.
Yep.
Okay, people, let me find my share screen.
We know her.
Yes, we do. Okay. Play.
You may have heard that there's no such thing as time management because you can't really manage time. And that's true. Time passes at the same rate no matter what we do. We all have the same 24 hours in our day, and there's nothing we can do to change that. What we can change is what we do in those hours. All of us have had that thought, if only I had just 2 more hours in my day. But what if you only had 23 hours in your day, or 18? The truth is, you would find a way to make it work just like you're currently making 24 hours work. If you had 2 more, you would just spend it on the same stuff you're doing right now. The problem isn't that you don't have enough time to do the things that are important to you. The problem is that you're already spending the time you have doing less important things. Every minute of the day, you are choosing how to spend your time. You're making a choice right now by watching this video instead of doing something else. Time management isn't about managing the time, it's about managing the activities. It's about knowing and pursuing your priorities. In future videos, we'll talk about how to remove time-wasting activities and lower priorities to create more space in your day. But first, I want to talk about how you're going to fill that time. If you don't have a plan for how you'll fill your time, someone or something else will quickly come in to cover the gap. It could be emails or paperwork, social media, or games on your phone. There are thousands of things waiting at the door just hoping for a piece of your time, but only if you let them. I want you to fill in this blank. I would do blank, but I don't have enough time. Think of one or two things that you wish you were working on or doing more often. It could be business or personal. Marketing, organization, family. I would do blank, but I don't have enough time. Do you have something? Now keep the blank the same, but change the sentence to, I would do blank, but it's not a priority. How does that make you feel? I would reach out to my former clients, but it's not a priority. I would go to my kid's soccer game, but it's not a priority. I would call my grandma, but it's not a priority. It feels terrible, and it should, because you know that you're not giving an important thing the attention it deserves. I like this exercise because it can be a real wake-up call for me. When I'm not investing time in my priorities, I'm carrying this feeling around all the time, but when I put it into words like this, the feeling becomes too strong to ignore. When you spend your day answering emails and handling seemingly urgent tasks, you're being reactive. There will always be a big part of your job that is reactive, and reactive is easy. It's easy to chase things, easy to let other people dictate your day, but it isn't satisfying. When you get to the end of a busy day, but you feel like you didn't do anything, that's probably because you spent your whole day reacting to the demands of others. You're just spinning your wheels. Being proactive about your time is harder, but it's more rewarding, both emotionally and financially. Your assignment this week is to write out your priorities, then track your time to see how those priorities align with how you spend your days. Start by brainstorming everything you think of as a priority, both business and personal. Once you have a list, star the top 3 priorities. Then of those 3, choose the one that matters most. This isn't saying that you'll have to ignore the others, but it does force you to acknowledge that when push comes to shove, you may have to hold one priority up higher than all the others. Next, you're going to track your time using the tracking sheets we provided. I recommend printing them out and keeping them next to you all day long. Track in 15-minute increments and include both work and personal time. Don't just block out 3 hours and call them errands. You want to pay attention to where you're spending every minute. If you forget about tracking and let a few hours go by without writing anything down, start tracking again immediately and fill in those blank hours as soon as you can. Don't wait for the end of the day or you will forget when you started and stopped each activity. You're going to track your time for 3 days. I'll warn you now that it is a lot harder than it sounds to do this activity for 3 full days, but it is the only way to get the data you need about how you spend your time. Human brains are not great at perceiving time, and without the written proof, it's easy to trick yourself into believing you spent your day differently than you did. Knowing how you want to use your time versus how you do use your time are crucial first steps in managing your time and activities better. Take some time today to list out your priorities, then print out a tracking sheet so you're ready to start tracking first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay, make sure my buddy's in there. Hey.
I just want to let you know, you are always priority with me.
Oh, thank you. Aw, and you proved that by being here today.
True,
Yeah,
true. Every week.
every week.
We are here
Yep. Aw,
and almost always back, which is good.
yep, it is.
I try.
So
Okay, it was simple,
it was simple.
to the point.
Mm-hmm. It's giving.
Sometimes the most important things are the simplest, right?
Mm-hmm. So at this point, because I know there are other classes on time management coming forward, but this time I think it's having us just take a look at how are we spending our time.
Mhm.
I think carrying around those tracker sheets for 3 days and writing down everything we do sounds horrible.
Uh-huh.
However, I see the point. To get an idea, I think we might surprise ourselves if we look at actually look at, okay, this is how we spend our time in the 3 days. So I can see where it would be beneficial. If we're serious about finding out, where are we spending our time, and maybe by analyzing that later, we can see where some changes should take place, maybe.
I think it would be
So-
hard in mine and your position, Karen, because we do task switch so often, which task switching is coming up at some point, I believe.
Mhm.
But it's hard because sometimes
Our-
you just have to drop.
Yeah, our job is more reactive for sure.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes as an agent.
You know, a lot of realtors is
Yes.
that way,
Mhm,
right?
Right.
That's why they teach us to schedule things that have to be done every day, if you make your phone call or whatever, these things.
Mhm.
Because you can always be guaranteed most days of the week, things are gonna come at you that you weren't ready for, that it's gonna take you off your track and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just typical what you do and what we do, same
Mhm.
thing, that you have to react because what we do, we serve other people.
Mhm.
And,
Right.
and their wishes and needs and demands
Take
are not
precedence.
predictable.
Right, and it will take precedence where you'll
Right.
need to take care of it.
Right.
So our days sometimes kind of run us instead of the other way around. But I do think we have that time where we can catch up. I know Beth and I've had conversations where we've had emails or lists of things that we wanted to accomplish, and because of how our days were running us, then we have a day where it doesn't seem to happen like that. And it's like, okay, let's really use the time that we have and accomplish these things that didn't get taken care of earlier in the week like we would have hoped to. So I think if we're looking at it from an agent perspective, probably a good idea with looking at an activity like this is to see, what are the money-making activities in your day? Maybe you can find a few things that you can weed out and replace, with phone calls or, creating a new marketing plan or so.
Being with the prospect, whether it's a
Mhm.
prospective buyer or seller or an existing buyer or seller, those are our priorities,
Right,
which is other things we have to get into the day also.
exactly. So I don't know, this was, I think, interesting, and I will make sure, Beth, that when we post this, we'll post the worksheets that go along with it in case, some of the agents want to give it a shot and at least, take a stab at writing down what they're doing and then deciding where to go from there.
And as our instructor said at the beginning of the class, she said, we all have the same amount of time, right? We know that we all have 24 hours in a day. We
Yeah.
wish we had more time. In reality, what we wish is we were better at organizing the important things and getting them done. And
Right,
another hour or two would not make a difference.
exactly. And it goes back to our conversation that we were having even before the class regarding, but more on a personal level, things that, projects and things, that I want to get done in my house. And I was looking at my schedule and how I need to change things to make that happen, otherwise it never will. So it can work personal and professional. So,
Yep.
all right. Well,
And it has been said, you've heard this too,
mhm,
that if you want something done that's important, give it to the busiest person you know, because they will get it done.
yeah, that's true,
So it's those people who figure these things out.
exactly.
And I think you
I am not coming.
have already done that to a high degree, but we can all get better at it too.
I agree.
I am not coming to your house, Karen.
Oh. Okay. Back to the drawing board.
Just kidding. I would.
I know. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a fabulous day today.
We are, and we
All
will.
right. Thanks for watching.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.